I think that is one of the big responsibility as the agency owners to make sure. How's it going, guys? Dan Kitajima here with another episode of How to Win in the Insurance Business. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a very important subject here of who to send your leads to. All right, because leads is a very big part of our expense as an agency owner, and it's really important that we have a good closing ratio to make the math and the formula work out where it's a good investment that pays off for us. So it's really important to understand who we send it to. So it really depends on your current situation of your agency. So I would say if you're a newer agent, newer meaning inexperienced, book size, if you're scratch agents that's starting with no customers, then it totally makes sense for you to be the one that's working on the leads yourself because you're the one who paid it for them. So there's no one's going to be as invested or as committed to trying to close them as you are. It's going to be very rare where you're going to have a producer at this stage of your career that's more skilled than you at closing leads. And I think it's really important that you understand how to close leads yourself because in the future you want to be able to train somebody how to do it, and how are you going to be able to show somebody how to close leads when you don't have any experience yourself? In fact, you want to become a master at it, and you want to develop systems and procedures on how to close leads, so that way you could develop a system that which you could scale in the future. So I definitely say if you're newer, maybe in the first 1 or 2 years, if you have less than 1,000 clients, then you definitely want to be the one working on them yourself, and maybe have an assistant that could help you with some of the customer service work, administrative work. The lead games is very challenging. You definitely don't want to send it to a brand new producer. You're competing with other talented and skilled and experienced agents or brokers that are also purchasing these leads, or the marketplace. There's customers have options, so it's definitely a game that requires experience and skill. You really want to be very careful to who's working on leads. A lot of times agents will blame the lead quality, but there's so many different parts to how a lead system could work, because it's just not about the lead quality. You have to worry about your producers, and then your lead management system, and the leads too. So I do have a video explaining about how to build a successful sales team, the 3 pillars of it. So I'll put the link in the description below, so check it out when you have a chance. All right, so when you have multiple producers, it's totally different. So I think the most important thing to do is to see who's the best closer in your agency. Now, maybe you already know this, but if you do not, then send the leads to all your producers evenly, and then see who's the best. Okay, track their quote rate, obviously track their closing ratio, and this is gonna be pretty clear because sales again is a skill game. So some of your staff is just gonna be better than others. And that's just how it is. So you do want to find out, and you probably already know at this point, maybe if you have multiple agents, producers at your agency, who the best producer is. So the most important thing to me is to send your leads to your top producers as much as you can. There's a couple ways to do it. You could forward them yourself, or you could have a CRM do them by doing a round robin to see who's available. But you want to keep your producers happy. They're the hardest ones to find as far as hiring process goes. They're the ones that's most valuable to your agency. So I don't believe in sending leads evenly to all your producers. You want to send as much as possible to your top producers. That will keep him or her happy, motivated, and compensated. And then you'll also be maximizing their potential by just providing them as much leads as they can, and then they're going to be spending their time on the most valuable skill they have, which is to be able to close the deals. I also don't really like having your top producers become office managers, which I see other agents do often, because that's a totally different skill. And again, finding somebody who's able to sell leads is such a, because it's rare, it's valuable skill, that if you have somebody, then you really want to have that person really focus in on that and try to use as much of their time supporting them to be able to do that at your agency. So where does that lead your other producers? Okay, well, your top producer is going to be busy. So you do want to have enough leads where your top producer is busy, constantly doing leads and being having in sales situations and sales calls all day long, having appointments, sales appointments. But your other producers, they're going to have opportunity too, as long as you have the right volume of lead flow. So the additional leads will go to the other agents if the top producer is too busy. okay, because he or she's going to be on the phones, she's going to be on appointments, and then there's going to be additional leads. So those additional leads will go to your second best producers. And then if that second producer is not available, then it'll go to your third producer. So that's how you want to just keep on feeding it from the top, and then letting the leads trickle down to the rest, and then that way there's more opportunities for them. So the newer agents, really shouldn't be getting that many leads, but always communicate with them. Hey, what are the ways you can get more leads at your agency? Some of the ways they could prove that they're good enough producer to be able to get leads is to be able to cross sell, and then ask for referrals and close those. Other ways is to just look at their data too, have a good enough closing ratio with the leads they've generated by themselves, letting them know that being dependable is a big part of it. So if they're dependable, showing up to work every day, that's going to be something that we will reward with additional leads. By having a great attitude and energy, that's also a good thing too, because you can see somebody doing a great job in customer service. You can hear them explain coverage, and then you could reward them by, hey, I feel like you could close some deals here. So here's some leads that you can work on. And then, just based on the field of agency, sometimes someone will come in not feeling themselves, not feeling great, maybe being sick. Kind of judge your energy level every day, and then adjust who you're sending the leads to based on your intuition and how the agency is doing and how individual producers are feeling that day, and based on their workload too. So it's really important that you have a really good understanding of where your agency is at in that particular day, keeping an eye out and orchestrating how the leads should be distributed, because I think that is one of the big responsibility as the agency owners, to make sure they're getting sent to the right producers, so that way they have the best possible results. And then also, just to make sure everything is working out at your agency, it's super important that we have a compensation system that makes sense and is motivating them enough. So I do have a video about explaining and breaking down my compensation system, my compensation plan basically. So I'll put that link in the description below as well. So yeah, overall, hope this helps. It just, please be very thoughtful of who you're sending your leads to. All right. I would say, again, track your results, analyze the data. I think looking at the data is super important, because that way we're not just sending the leads to whoever we like the most. We're sending it to the agents that have the best closing ratio. All right. And then send them to your top agents again. That's the key topic here, because we want to keep them happy. Making sure they're making a lot of money. That's the fair thing to do. When other people may say that's not fair, it's actually the most fair, because it's a business is based on merit. So you want to send it to the top agents, and they should be the ones making more money, because what they are able to do. It's where everything starts, is getting that sale. And then communicate with the rest of your staff and motivate them. It's almost like getting leads is almost like getting a raise, because that's basically improves their paychecks. So motivate them by using leads as something that they could earn and not just be given. So the rest of your staff, they have inspirations of being able to get more leads and increase their income that way, by proving to you that they're going to be dependable, have a strong closing ratio, and have a great attitude when it comes to customer service. So yeah, that's it. This is how I determine who I send my leads to. Hope this helps. Until next time, let's get it. Stay hungry.